Welcome to the OnePlus 6T camera review. Over the next 5 minutes, we're going to test the rear and the front shooter, see how well it does, and I hope you guys enjoy the review. This video will be very biased. I only shoot in a few modes, and I'll explain those as I go. A lot of the video will be a comparison between 4K 60 frames and 4K 30 frames, so please take note. The video you see now is in 720p, and I believe it is complete garbage. That's up to you. What you see now is 4K 60 frames per second. For the most part, everything looks good, the video is smooth, but if you look at the TV, the highlights are completely blown out on it. It does a little bit better with the hard rock sign in the back, but that TV looks horrible. Moving on to 4K 30 frames per second, not much has changed. Highlights are still handled pretty well, but if you look at the TV, the same problem persists. I don't know what OnePlus has done. Their camera isn't bad by far, but these highlights have to be addressed, please. Moving on to the walking test, highlights are still blown out. I believe there is no stabilization here. It doesn't look too bad. I've seen a lot worse. The phone is a pretty good shooter at the highest settings, I will say that. But as soon as I turn the frames per second down, everything went to complete you know what. That's enough said here. Nothing to report here. The video does pretty well with flash on, 4K 6 frames per second. Shameless video promotion. My next review will be of Wear OS on the Fossil Watch Gen 3 Explorers. With this phone's 16 and 20 megapixel shooters, you'll notice two things here. HDR is sometimes better than night mode, and colors are usually true to life. As you'll see in this upcoming shot, the regular HDR gives you more of a cropped image opposed to night mode, where it bumps up the saturation and gives you a wider field of view. I like night mode better in this photo. With HDR in this photo, it's pretty true to life without losing a lot of its pop. When you move on to night mode, it gives you that wider field of view. Saturation is cranked all the way up. I absolutely love it. Here's an example of where HDR handles the shot a little bit better. Moving cars are still captured, unlike the night mode photo where it's nothing but just a weird looking blur. Here's a shot where night mode does better with keeping shadows and highlights pretty balanced, unlike the HDR photo where the light is just it's just a brighter photo. Like, that's not necessarily better. In this shot with HDR on, it seemed like the whole picture comes to life, opposed to when HDR is off, the picture seems really flat, really dull, and it doesn't look great to me. These next few shots are something I just had fun with, nothing really to explain here. Comment in the video section and let me know what you think of these photos. Here's an example of HDR failing to get the job done. This picture is extremely flat compared to the night mode photo where it adds a little bit more pop but nothing too crazy, just brightens up the photo. I decided to do an extreme test. HDR was only able to pull off the street light down the street, where with night mode you can actually see the detail in the trees, some of the sky. It's amazing what this mode got done. Same case here, you can see the trees just a little bit in the background, but when night mode is turned on, it changes everything entirely. You can actually see the detail in the clouds. The last thing is portrait mode. Some shots don't come out as good as others. Edge detection usually isn't so great, as you can see in the selfie portrait, but if you get really close with the rear shooter, some of the macro shots come out extremely good. That will be it for my OnePlus 6T camera review. Like, share, and subscribe. I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and see you in the next one.